This is me, and the plan is transforming this into the best live-action Zenitsu you ever saw. Destruction, a whole 3D forest environment, 3D hair, lightning, parkour, a house being destroyed. But it's gonna be hard, because I have to record everything while I'm holding the leaf blower and while I'm trying to change the lights. But today was different. I had a team. Chester, Damon, my mom. And after everything we did, we had this. As you can see, my face doesn't look like Zenitsu. So me and my friend created a concept art, and then I use it as a reference. But to make my face look like this in a video will be a little complex. First, I track my face features using mesh tracking so the software knows how I move my face. So I can fix my very weird nose. Then I distorted it, making my chin and nose smaller to make me look younger. Then I applied that distortion to my face movement. And then I applied a paint over of the clothes and skin to make me look more like Zenitsu. I know it's looking bad right now, but you have to believe it will look good in the end. So it was time to make the hair, because this wig doesn't look very good. Zenitsu's hair is a bit weird. It looks like he cut it himself. So I tried creating a 3D hair, but it was taking too long and wasn't working. So I had an idea that would be good enough and probably work. I should just use the hair from the concept art. Just make it move like a wave, kind of, and then put the simulated hair on top of it. And that was the result. Good enough. Which is actually very similar to the hair I had when I was a child. Which is weird. Mom! Let me show it to my mom. I think she's gonna like it. The software crashed. While we wait, let me show you this amazing game I've been playing. This video is brought to you by Marvel Strike Force. Mom, in this game you can play as more than 180 characters. Look at all these characters. Wow! Marvel Strike Force is an action-based RPG where you can fight alongside your favorite Marvel villains and heroes to save Earth, Mom. The Earth is in trouble, Mom. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna save it! There are daily challenges, objectives, and a lot of game modes, like Arena, Blitz, Raids, and Alliance War. And on top of that, you can customize your heroes to fight against the villains in style. Marvel Strike Force is available for free on iOS and Android. Okay, let's go, Deadpool! He charms his enemy, then he kicks him in the face, and he shoots him. That's how he does it. Let's go, Spider-Man! With his webs. And it's a victory! I'm a professional at this game already. Download now using my link down below. And join the fight. You're welcome. Okay, now let me show you the result. Okay, Zenitsu is looking good enough, but we need to create some anime style realistic effects and lighting. That's where my friend Damon comes in. So he's gonna use this simulation software. In this software you basically control the air, the gravity, the forces around the smoke. This is simulation, so don't ask me a lot about it. I don't know how to do that. And using the anime reference, he created a realistic version of the lightning effects. Okay, that's good. My idea is a very big forest. At night, a foggy forest with a bunch of trees and the moon in the back. Similar to the anime, but more cinematic. You know how hard it is to do that? No, because I don't. Literally, I don't know how to do that. I think I can try? Nope. Okay, I'm just gonna buy this 3D forest. Zenitsu is so powerful that when he uses his power, ground breaks. Very original. Never saw that before in anime. I don't know if the ground is floating. He's in slow motion. I have no idea what is happening, but Chester will do that for me. Simulation, but this time it's using the ground, and you have to break the ground and simulate the forces and make the forces go fast and then slow and the gravity like zero. Actually, I'm not gonna pretend that I know how he did that, but that's what he did. And you may ask, Jelix, why is there a ball? Bro, I don't know, it's an Easter egg, and it's gonna stay right there until the end. I'm not gonna take it out. So just to render the Unreal Engine environment and the simulation of the ground. And then I put them both together, with the smokes and the lightning. And it was quite hard, because everything was looking a little bit different, and I had to make everything look cool, and the result was good enough. In the anime you can see Zenitsu's costume going crazy in the back, but I didn't record that. So we had a very big brain solution. Chester would recreate myself in 3D with every detail, then simulate the clothes perfectly with the wind and simulating the physics, and he spent a lot of time doing that. And it would take a long time to finish, but the result would be perfect. I just found a cape floating online and used it instead. And that's why Chester wants to punch me now. Sorry, Chester. And the result was not perfect, but good enough. So finally, after I put everything together, made it look good, and a continuous scene, this was the result. Wait, there's no sound. To create the sound effects, I just used a microphone. Then I went all over the house, recording everything I could. The plants, some weights falling to the ground, myself falling to the ground, some lightning effects, some sword effects, and this is the result. Then you send this to Damon, so he makes it sound good. Wait, he used sounds that he found online? We have to do the rest of the shots very quickly. Shot 3 is supposed to be simple. We only have my hand, katana, the background, and some lightning effects. The problem is, sometimes something happens that I don't know exactly how to continue a shot, but I have a solution for this kind of situation. Shot is looking bad, so I invert it, and I go on Photoshop, and I paint over it. Until it looks good. Then I look the paint, invert it again, and I go back on After Effects and transfer my modifications to the video. When I invert the shot, somehow my brain starts working again. That's why the shot now looks like this. And I didn't have time for shot 4, and that's where Damon comes in. So he started compositing the shot, and after he was done, I gave him some feedbacks over a frame of the shot, which would help him finish it and also save a lot of time in the process. Then he adjusted everything. So now I just adjusted some small things, and this was the result of the team work. Wait a second, you want to learn how to do this? I have an announcement to make. I'm gonna make a course! Yeah, let's go! In the course I will use everything I know about storytelling and making videos to teach you guys what I know. That's a way to thank you and also a way to make money. It's a way to give back to the community. And if it sells a lot, maybe I can start JX Studios and create a movie with a big team. So fill the form in the description so I can understand better what do you guys want to learn on the course. Now, back to the video. Now 4 shots are done. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm gonna need to do 5 and 6. Shot 5 is also a very simple shot. But I don't think this shot makes a lot of difference. So maybe I'll do this shot in the end if I have time. But the problem is shot 6. Because if you're trying to do this shot in a realistic way, you have to create the animation of the camera, recreate the whole scene using the environment we bought for Unreal Engine. And Zenitsu jumping from a tree to another tree. The problem is, I know like 5% of how to use Unreal Engine. But luckily for me, Chester already rendered the last scenes using Unreal Engine. So he knows like 10%. And that's enough to make this scene. I think. Chester, where's the graph editor? I don't know. JLX, how do I animate this? I don't know. Chester, how do I make a light? I don't know. Somehow, this was the result. It's actually very good. I don't know how we did that because the camera looks smooth, but now we need Zenitsu there and also the lighting effects. So I put the costume back in, running around, making some poses because I have to go from this point to this point, walking on the tree, go upwards. The result was awful. But do you remember that model that Chester did? Create the cloth simulation. That's right, it's gonna be useful. So he just posed the bald Zenitsu in the poses and it worked very well. And I'm very glad because now that he used the model that he created, we are good and he don't want to punch me anymore. Okay, now we had very little time. So we just rushed through the other shots. I tried comping and making some distortion and camera shake, some flares, changing a little bit of the colors here and there. And after all of that, we joined everything together. And after all this perfect teamwork, all the shots were done. And now, after all this work, I'm gonna ask you to subscribe to the channel. And if you skipped to the end and you didn't watch the full video, consider doing it. We work very hard to make it as entertaining, informative and fun as possible. We are almost at 1 million. What? I don't know how to thank you guys. So now enjoy the final video. Okay.